Hi, everybody, and welcome to RMC University, brought to you by Ross Morgan and Company. The topic today is the election process. The election process is a pretty standard process that every association goes through, and it's important to have a good understanding of the process. And today's video is more about giving you that good foundational understanding, not diving into all the details about the law surrounding the process, but really just giving you a high level understanding of how the process runs. So let's talk about it. The annual meeting process at its minimum is a 90-day process, but we never say it's exactly 90 days because that'll give you no cushion in sending out the mailers that are sent out as part of the process. So we call this process a 95-day process. Now, at 95 days, the first step in the process is sending out the call for nominations. The question is, can the management company be involved in sending out the call for nominations and sending out all the mailers associated with the process and collecting the ballots? The short answer to that question is absolutely, yes, we can. We can assist in the process, but the inspector of elections needs to designate the management company as the ballot collector. And as long as the inspection of election designates the management company as the ballot collector, we can play a part in the whole process. Now, we'll get to it in a minute, but the management company cannot count ballots. No one contracted with the association can count ballots. Before we get there, let's talk about the call for nominations, which we send out at 95 days. We collect those nominations back, and great, we got them back. Now, who can run for the board? There are only certain people that cannot run for the board. One is a person is delinquent in the payment of regular and special assessments. Two is someone that is a joint owner with someone else living in the same unit. Let's say a husband and wife both want to run for the board. Well, they can't because only one designated owner from one unit can run for the board. If an owner's been an owner for less than a year at the property, they cannot run for the board. Or if an owner has a criminal conviction in the past, which would prevent the association from obtaining a fidelity bond, which is insurance to protect against the misappropriation of funds. If they have a criminal record, they cannot run for the board. So that's it. Those are the four reasons. You can run for the board if you're suing the association, as crazy as that sounds. You can run for the board if you have a history of violations against the association. Those are the four reasons why you can't run for the board. And that's it. That's what the law states, and we have to abide by it. Okay, so you send out the call for nominations, you receive your nominations back, and you're ready to send out the next notice, which is your 60-day notice, which announces the candidates and gives general meeting information. It's a one-page document. All this information that I'm speaking about is available on our server and easily accessible to everybody. So your nominations are in and you prepared the 60-day notice. Now, at 60 days, because all the nominations are in, you could also prepare the ballot, right? Nothing's going to change. So the ballot can be ready and prepared at 60 days, no problem. But you're not going to send the ballot out until 30 days before the meeting. But what I like to do is the nominations are in. I'm preparing the 60-day notice and I'm preparing the ballots at the same time, and I'm just sitting on the ballots and waiting until I can send them out. So your 60-day notice goes out, no problem. You're waiting, and then your 30-day notice and the ballots go out. Now, we can collect the ballots as the management company, as I said, designated by the inspector of elections. The ballots come in and we're ready for the meeting. We've collected the ballots. Who can count the ballots at the meeting? Okay, so as a management company, we as the management company cannot count the ballots at the meeting. As noted previously, no one contracted with the association can count the ballots. So typically what happens is, if the management company is running this election, a member of the community volunteers to count the ballots. So who cannot count the ballots is a member of the board of directors, a candidate running for the board, someone related to a member of the board of directors, or someone running for the board, and of course anyone contracted as discussed. That's it. It's that simple. Those are the people that cannot count the ballots. So you found your designated person to count the ballots. The ballots are in, and 3 days before the meeting, you're getting the ballots to that person so they're prepared. At the meeting, the ballots are opened if there is a quorum. If there's no quorum, the meeting adjourns to a second attempt at the meeting. But if there is a quorum, the ballots can be opened, they're counted, and it's announced at the meeting who is on the board. Now, that's the process. High level, that's the process. Don't overthink it. It's not that complicated. It just requires organization and getting your timeline right. An app that I love for reminders is called Due, D-U-E. Get it? It's $5 on the App Store, and it's a great reminder app. I use it every single day. It will require that you complete a task, and if you don't, it'll keep reminding you, which is a good thing. Now the question is, how do you make this annual meeting process a little bit easier? Okay, there are certain things that you can do to make the process easier, and these are, if you're struggling with your annual meeting and you're struggling with issues, these are the common issues, and it requires an amendment to the bylaws of the association. So one is, keep the quorum requirement low, like 25%, or remove the quorum requirement altogether so you can reach it on the first attempt. Remove cumulative voting. Cumulative voting can completely distort an election and cause havoc in the community, bringing someone onto the board that is going to cause issues. Okay, so by eliminating cumulative voting, you're requiring that only one vote can be applied to one candidate running for the board. Get rid of proxy voting. Proxy voting is terrible. Proxy voting can completely distort an election because someone can run around and grab proxies and they're not easily verifiable and turn up at the meeting with 50 proxies and completely distort the outcome of the meeting. The people that are giving that person proxies may not even know what they're doing and who they're giving it to, which is crazy because the ballots can just be mailed in. They don't have to be turned in at the meeting. You mail in your ballot. You keep your vote to yourself. So get rid of proxy voting. Remove write-ins from the ballot. There's no need for write-ins, okay? The ballots are already out. A write-in candidate is not going to win the election because the candidates are already listed on the ballot, and most of the ballots are going to come in by mail. And finally, remove floor nominations. Again, another confusing element and unnecessary because everything can be done in the mail and giving the owners the complete control over their vote. All right, well, that's high level. It's good information, and hope you enjoyed the episode today. Thank you.